So when they come in here, there's about 50 at a time, 40 to 50, and so there'll be 7 or 8 of those meetings. We don't do it in the fourth quarter. We bring them in. The new hires, that's going to be our new managers, our new co-managers, our buyers, things of this nature. And so we talk to them here again about our culture of serving, but we also talk to them. Since we have 6 chaplains, we actually have one that's pretty much an evangelist. And she actually prays the sinner's prayer with every one of those that come through. The first time I did this, when we started bringing these individuals in, because we felt like it was really important for them to know our culture, my attorney just comes running in my office and says, "You know what that's going to cost you? Can cost you." And I said, "Well, no." I said, "We just had 15 individuals accept Christ for the first time, you know." And so he was there for just a minute or two, and I saw a tear in his eye, and he left and didn't say another word. And that was 8 years ago, and I haven't heard from him since on that on that subject. I haven't heard. You know, sometimes we worry about getting a lawsuit. Now think about it. My attorneys say we have 70 at any given time, approximately. Because we take a risk by putting when we open a store, we're taking a risk, okay? When we take a truck out of here, we're taking a risk. And we'll take that risk, and I won't take a risk that someone's going to sue me because I told them about Jesus. That just doesn't seem to be quite right. So we believe we ought to take a risk, and we do take a risk. And there's a lot of stories about that risk. You know, one time we had a young lady, she was over here, and she was not participating because we were eating. And she said, I can't eat your food. She said, "I'm a Muslim and I can't eat your food." So she was sitting in the conference room and said, "We'll never let this happen again. We'll make sure." And we just loved on her. She calls back a couple weeks, says, "Guess what? I accepted the Lord. And my 5-year-old boy, I'm going to teach him to accept Jesus, you know." So there's a huge, huge ripple effect to this. One young man rededicated his life. And he tells this story of getting on the plane, and he's telling God that he's going to be more vocal about his experience, and he knew that was wrong. So God just tested him. He's on the plane going back from here, and he's sitting by a lady that's very distraught. And he gets to talking to her, and she's distraught because her son tried to commit suicide. So he led her to the Lord, you know. She calls back and says, "Guess what? I led my son to the Lord." So I think it's important for us to let people know about Christ. And I think it's okay to get sued every now and then.